Please be seated. Mr. Gruff. Okay. We are back on the record in the people of the state of Michigan versus Lawrence Nassar. And in this file, 17217 FC, the court has to address the issue of a direct contempt involving one of the victim's parents, Mr. Randall Margraves. Sir, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
And you are accompanied here by your attorney, Mr. Graywall, sorry. Sorry, right? He's your attorney here today? All right, sir. Under MCL 600.1711, when any contempt is committed in the immediate view and presence of the court may punish it summarily by fine, imprisonment, or both. Direct contempt of the court is found when misconduct has occurred in the immediate view and presence of the court, and immediate and corrective action is necessary to restore the order and maintain the dignity and authority of the court. Contempt is described as disorderly, contemptuous, or insolent behavior committed during its seating or the immediate view or presence of the court. In this case, while a parent impact statement was being made, the court observed you, sir, assault and attempt to batter the defendant. And assault, of course, is being that placing individuals who believe they're at threat of harm or physical abuse, and in fact you had to be taken down by officers. That is why we are back here immediately, because the court believes summary proceedings are appropriate because we are doing it immediately. Mr. Graywall, do you agree with that?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
I would like to make comments.
Pardon me?
I would like to make
Yes,
comments.
I'm not there yet. So, and I would indicate for the record that at one of the breaks, the court did meet with our prosecutor, Mr. Doug Lloyd, Mr. Graywall, on your behalf. The defense attorney, Mr. Newberg, was consulted, and our sheriff was present. So there was a discussion. I would indicate for the record that you have been being held in a holding cell since that time, that you've not been just walking around the building, you've been back in a holding cell. And so now the question is, what does the court do about the fact that you were in direct contempt of court? Just for the record, you need to know that I could give you a jail sentence. I could fine you up to $7,500. I could order any costs or expenses associated with the proceeding, and any combination of that. I don't want to do that. I understand, well actually I don't. I'm a parent. I can't say that I understand. I don't know what it would be like to stand there as a father and know that 3 of your girls were injured physically and emotionally by somebody sitting in a courtroom. I can't fathom that. Angie, the Attorney General, did share with me that you heard things today on the record that you didn't know before. I can see that absolutely creating an anger and a rage so great that any parent would want to do physical harm. So I understand that. But you have to understand that this is a courtroom, and this is where we carry out and enforce the rules of law. It is not acceptable that we combat assault with assault. We have to teach our children and other adults that when people do things that are wrong and they break the law, we handle that by using the legal proceedings to punish them. We cannot, and I cannot, tolerate or condone vigilantism or any other type of action that basically comes down to an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That is not, and that's not what's best in this situation. What's best here is that we take this horrible tragedy and we learn to educate people. And I don't disagree that as a parent and the victims that you want people held accountable. I don't disagree with that. Use the legal system to do it. Use the system of justice that's here, and there will be the proper punishment. But as for the direct contempt of court, there is no way that this court is going to issue any type of punishment given the circumstances of this case. And my heart does go out to you and your family because of what you've gone through. Now, it's my understanding that you're going to be released, but I need you to give me your solemn promise that nothing else is going to happen, that nobody has to be concerned about going to their cars, and that this was truly an immediate and emotional reaction of a father to hearing what you heard today. Go ahead, sir.
That is correct, Your Honor. I appreciate your sympathy. I'd like to apologize to you in the courtroom proceedings. I do have the highest and utmost respect for our judicial system. I'd like to apologize to everyone in the courtroom and all the officers, the fine upstanding officers that were forced to deal with my outburst. I came here in support of my daughters. I knew they were going to read a statement. I didn't know what all was in it. They would not let me see it ahead of time. I've dealt with my daughters as of late very delicately. I'm realizing they may never trust a man again. Then I got to hear that, and I look over here, and Larry Nassar's shaking his head no, like it didn't happen. Who would put themselves through this? It didn't happen. I lost control. I apologize 100 times. You have my word, I will not be at future proceedings. I didn't come to proceedings before today. I came solely for support of my daughters today. I'm definitely calmed down. I'm embarrassed. I'm not here to upstage my daughters. I'm here to help them heal.
I believe you, and I accept your apology on behalf of the court. And let's just leave it at that now, shall we?
Thank you.
I think that's the best way to handle it. Mr. Graywall, did you say you had something you wanted to say?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I had a chance to speak to Randy in the holding cell, and he has calmed down. As he indicated, we all feel for him. We're all parents. The world is watching. All these amazing survivors have come forward to share their stories, to bring sexual assault out of the darkness. The parents are survivors, too, as they sit there and support their children. And Randy did not know what his two daughters were going to say, and in that moment, his instincts took over. He wanted to protect his daughters. He's very apologetic. I think it's very difficult when we see society out there still putting blame on parents and people still making comments that these incidents did not take place. There's no way. There's 200 girls and women out there. You know, it's inflaming the situation. A situation that we already have high emotions, that's throwing gasoline on. So he's sincere in his apology. He's apologized to all the law enforcement. He's cooperated with the detective in this matter. I appreciate if you would just release him, and I will take him with me to his family, and he won't be back.
Okay. He may be released.
Thank you, Judge.
That's all for the record.
Thank you.